For the next several weeks, we are pivoting our fall hometown tour to the areas hardest hit by Helene.
And we're highlighting some of the stories of the people who could use a little bit of help or a little bit of healing in this time.
Queen City News anchor Julian Sador is up in Hendersonville this morning inside what was a museum, and they have certainly had to pivot there as well. Good morning, Julian.
Good morning, Jason and Savannah. You're exactly right. They have certainly had to pivot because you got antique aircrafts above me, beside me right now, next to supplies that people have come in and picked up. People are dropping off supplies there. Definitely a pivot to help the people who need it the most. And speaking of people who need it the most and people getting their lives back together, Henderson County Public Schools just went back to school yesterday. And actually, I have Kimbrell Arrowood, Public Information Officer with Henderson County Public Schools, joining me this morning. Kimbrell, thanks for waking up with us.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Okay, so obviously you can see she's bright and chipper. She's used to school hours, so these hours aren't too bad for you. But talk about yesterday and how much it meant to come back to school.
Yes, wow. Was it great to have our students back in our school buildings? All 23 schools had our students in their buildings. Our teachers were back, our people were back, lots of hugs. There were some happy tears, there were smiles. But at the end of the day, it was just important for us to have our students back in the building.
I bet it was. And here's one of the amazing things. If anybody's ever played sports, you guys know there's something about Friday night lights that just makes you feel good. Kimbrell, you were a cheerleader. Your husband's a football coach. You guys got on the field Friday night. How special was that to get out there?
Wow, it was special. I think everyone needed that sense of community. They needed normalcy, our kiddos back on the field. So it was great to have all of our high schools start their sports back last week and have those Friday night lights.
Now, obviously, as we talk about what's happened here in Hendersonville, some places still have damage. Some people were a little better off than others. First, how are you and your family?
My family is safe. My home is safe. So we are grateful and we are blessed for that. But we're just thankful, and it was amazing to see how our community came together. All of our school staff, our principals, everyone, it was all hands on deck, checking in on every single student in our district, every single staff member. But we are lucky and so great to have the HCPS family back together again.
Kimbrell, you and I were talking. You are a native, so you know this area very well. We're talking about hurricane flooding in western North Carolina and Hendersonville. Is it hard to even wrap your head around that?
It is. I mean, our area has never experienced this type of natural disaster, especially in my lifetime. So it was hard to even imagine what it would be like after that. But it's been great to see our community come together, and we will continue rebuilding. And the school system is here for our community, here for our kiddos, and here for our staff members as well.
Speaking of those kiddos, obviously some of them are dealing with some damage still from Helene. How has the county worked with those students? Because not everybody has all the things that they had 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so our principals, our school counselors, our social workers, everyone has checked in on every single one of our kids. At first it was food, it was supplies, but we're going to see more things come up. It's going to be power bills, it's going to be driveways, but we're here for our kiddos, and we're going to come together.
Was there a moment Friday or yesterday when everybody went back to school that you just kind of had to pinch yourself? It's like, okay, take a deep breath. We may be getting back to normal.
Yeah, I mean, seeing the buses back on the roads yesterday morning was a great sight to see. Having our kiddos in the building, you can kind of feel a sense of normalcy. It'll take a little bit, but just having our kiddos in the building is when you can breathe that sigh of relief that we're going to be okay.